I am Prarthana Paya, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to FFE's virtual open house for the year 21-22. When we started the virtual meets last year, little did we know that this platform will become our new normal. The past 1 year has tested the entire human race in various degrees, from throwing unforeseen and unimaginable challenges in front of us to upending our lives and causing irreparable damage. And yet, this universal tragedy could not shake the highest form of human spirit, that of optimism. While we have learned several lessons from this crisis, one of the most important one is that we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And on that note, I would like to begin today's event by welcoming our esteemed donors, guests, students, facilitators, alumni, and mentors to FFE's 8th and last virtual open house for this financial year for the state of Karnataka. I would now like to invite FFE's Managing Trustee, Dr. Sudha Kidao, to address the gathering. Dr. Sudha has been volunteering for FFE for more than a decade, first in the USA and then from 2010 in India, beginning with the establishment of FFE's office in Bangalore. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sudha Kidao. Over to you, Sudha.
Thank you, Prarthana, and good evening, everyone. It is indeed an honor and my privilege and pleasure to welcome all of you to this open house for all of you participants from Karnataka and elsewhere. As Prarthana mentioned, it's been a difficult year, but here we are today, and we expect close to 1,000 participants to join in this event. I'd like to take a moment to welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Sarvanan, who is the Vice President and Business Leader at Microsoft. Thank you, Sarv, for being with us here this evening, and we look forward to what you have to tell us. As you all know, we had a difficult year, and that meant that all of us have suffered some loss. So has the larger FFE family. We lost 3 students to the pandemic. Several students lost a parent to COVID, and we lost 3 of our valued volunteers to this terrible disease. While we mourn the loss of each precious life, we are simply thankful that they were part of the FFE family. But we must go on. And I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome all of you. We have a packed evening and have a lot to share with you. So I'd like to start with a presentation about the foundation, where we are and where we are headed. And can I have the first slide, please? So the Foundation for Excellence is, as you all know, a 27-year-old NGO. And we have been doing very impactful work for the last 27 years. Next slide, please. And the mission of the foundation is very simple. It is to help students like all of you who are very bright, have got very good ranks and have got into the best institutions in India, complete your higher education, because there is a need for some kind of financial help. And FFE accomplishes this mission through the scholarship program. So I want to congratulate all of you students who have been awardees of FFE scholarship, some of you for the 5th and final year. And I know all of you are in the process of renewing your application, which we hope we will be able to award to you soon. The scholarship program at FFE is focused on 4 different disciplines: engineering and medicine, which are the largest ones that in our flagship program. And we've added 2 more, which is B.Pharm and law, when we celebrated our 25th anniversary. While all of you students are very important and you all are scholarship awardees, you play a very important role in the future of FFE as you graduate, go on to get jobs and become our alumni. Please know that FFE is your organization. you have to be stewards and take this organization forward for the next several decades. So keeping in touch with all of you as students and alumni are a very important part of our work at the foundation. Next slide, please. I'd like to quickly touch upon the history of the foundation. It was started by a very successful engineer and who's been an entrepreneur as well, Dr. Prabhu Goel, and his wife, Mrs. Poonam Goel. The Foundation for Excellence was established in the US in 1994. And today we have a board in the US with whom we work very closely. And I want to say that since 1994, scholarships have been awarded to students always in India, though the organization was in the US. And over time, students who received FFE scholarship went on to become very successful, got jobs, and wanted to give back to the foundation. And there was no way of doing that because there was no establishment in India. And that is when the Foundation for Excellence India Trust started in 2003. And I'm really happy and proud that the first donations to FFE India Trust came from our very own alumni. And since then, the scholarship program has grown. As you can see, we are supporting close to 25,000 students. And we've done that in the last over 2 decades. Next slide, please. FFE India Trust is governed by a board of trustees. And as you can see, very eminent individuals on our board, including Dr. Rishi Krishnan, who is the director of IIM Bangalore. We have Smita Uttarwar, who is an entrepreneur in Mumbai. Mr. Venk Shukla, who is a venture investor, and he was the first president of FFE. And we have Mr. Arun Kumar, who is the chairman and CEO of KPMG India. And as I mentioned, the board of trustees in India works very close with the board of directors of FFE in the US. Next slide, please. So what does FFE India Trust do? We do several things. As you all know, we award scholarships. This is the national flagship scholarship program that FFE runs. It is run from our Bangalore office. We administer the scholarship program, which means we also interact very closely with a large community of students. We have a large, vibrant, and growing community of alumni who we also stay in touch with very closely. And as I said, because the alumni are the future of the foundation. We also, as you all know, FFE is no longer a financial and scholarship granting organization. We do a lot more, including a skills training program and a mentoring program. And you will hear more about both those programs very shortly. We also manage a very large volunteer base, and we could not have got this far without our volunteers. We raise funds in India. Substantial funds are raised in India along with our donors in the US. And we conduct events such as this. And we also reach out to a large number of other partners, other NGO partners with whom we work very closely. And so we're able to accomplish everything through this large network of over 40 corporates, thousands of individuals, volunteers, and donations from several charitable trusts. Next slide, please. This is something you all are familiar with. All of you are qualified for the scholarship because you've done very well, have got a good merit rank, and have also shown that there is some financial need in your families. I want to congratulate so many of you who are the first in your families to actually pursue your dreams and pursue your higher education. Congratulations, stay focused, and I'm sure each one of you will succeed. Next slide, please. I mentioned that our volunteers play a very important role. All of you students have interacted with our volunteers. We have over 500 volunteers in 27 states in India, and they play a very important role in not only meeting all of you students and your families, they also help in the mentoring program and make sure that they stay connected with you while you're a student and as you graduate and go on to become alumni. So please make sure you stay in touch with your volunteer facilitator, who has played a very important role in you being awarded a scholarship. Next slide, please. Where are we today? While we look at this slide, I want to make an important announcement, which we are really happy about, which is that Amazon in India recently, 2 days ago, launched the Future Engineers program in India, and FFE has been chosen as a partner. And what does this mean? It means that they will be able to support the education through scholarships of several hundred engineering students. And so we're delighted that this new partnership just got launched and that we have been chosen as a trusted partner for that. As you can see, we've grown steadily over the years. We started in 2010 with a little over 1,000 scholarships. And last year, we ended in the terrible year of the pandemic. We had donors donate generously, and we awarded the largest number of scholarships last year, close to 7,500. I am very happy to also let you all know that we are today the largest scholarship granting organization in India in the higher education space that pans and has an all India presence. And we are also a unique scholarship program that just does not limit ourselves to financial assistance, but to skills training and mentoring leading to employability. As you can see, the numbers speak for themselves. We've helped over 25,000 students over the years and awarded scholarships over 228 crores in this period of time. Next slide, please. At this point, I'd like to pass over the presentation to my colleague, Mr. Ram Kolavenu, who is the COO of FFE India Trust. Ram comes to FFE with over 22 years of experience in the corporate world, and he has experience in non-profit sector as well. I'd like to pass on the presentation to Ram to take it from here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sudha. Good evening, everyone. To see the number of deserving students getting scholarship increasing year on year has been really, really very satisfying. And Karnataka happens to be one of our largest state where we give a scholarship. If you can go to the next slide, please. As you can see, I would really congratulate and want to welcome the 363 new scholars from Karnataka who have got the scholarship the first time. You have done great amount of work to be able to crack these examinations and be part of the best part of the colleges. Wishing you all the very best and a warm welcome to FFE family. Thank you for all the volunteers who have been helping in making sure that we have the right number of students being coming into the scholarship program year on year. My only request for them would be to be able to start spreading this word larger because the dire need of for scholarships for this year is probably looking larger. And I would really urge you to see if we can increase the number of girls, female students who are applying for the scholarships this year. Go to the next slide, please. Our presence has been all over the country. We are growing and through the feeder programs, through volunteers, more applicants are coming in year on year. And then thanks to the support which we're getting in from the donor communities and corporates, we'll be able to support several of them. And it seems this pattern seems to be going. I want to touch base on 2-3 different items today. One is how FFE scholarship is different from probably other scholarships which are existing and making a holistic change to the students and scholars. And then talk about a little bit about the circle of giving, how it makes us really a sustainable entity. So about 5-6 years back, we have started this program of a wraparound program or a finishing school or whatever you can call it, is beyond the scholarship for primarily for engineering graduates, and now we're extending that to law and B.Pharma students, and we are actually starting to put something together for the medical students as well, wherein we are also holistically developing the various different gaps which are existing from what is being taught in the colleges, and also from some of us who come from a background where our schooling, where we probably are not equipped with some of the learning which probably puts us in a disadvantage. But go to the next slide. So I'll just take you through a little quick journey, and all the scholars are in different parts of this journey, where in the first year after you get in a scholarship, at the end of the first year, we were looking at assessing your English, analytical, logical skills, putting you through various different training programs during the second year, also exposing the scholars with various different training programs, which are not necessarily taught in the colleges, but are what employers are looking for. And I think, wanted to tell you that now we've been doing this for the last 6 years, and we have had a couple of batches which have graduated. There is a huge correlation between how you fare and how you start learning in these various different training programs, and then the kind of a careers which you are going to end up with. So I would urge to all of you to make most use of the different training programs, and then the mentoring programs which have been put in. The other aspect which we have initiated 2 years back, and actually took a great momentum last year, where we had 400 mentors from industry. The people who have been in the industry for more than 5 years have come in and actually started to do a one-on-one mentoring with mentees. This year the number has gone beyond 1,000. I think this to be able to have someone in the third year of your college to handhold you over a period of 6 to 8 months is tremendous. I think most of you have signed up for that. If some of you are still today, we still have 3-4 days left for signing up. Please sign up for the mentoring program. So the other differentiator which we have to make this entire mission of providing education to the needy people successful is this entire sustainability model. As graduates, you have all the scholars have taken a pledge of actually supporting 2 such students in their lifetime whenever they can, and that is becoming a momentum. I think this will take us to a real sustainability. This foundation is all yours. The scholars, tomorrow you'll graduate, you become alumni. This foundation is up to you for running in and making it as a bigger mission. Last year, where we were hit by pandemic, we go to the next slide, please. It was heartening to see that the amount of contribution which has come in from alumni, both directly and indirectly, has increased. Today, we have 12% of our scholarships which has been granted coming in from alumni in one form or the other. I thank all the alumni for their contribution. I urge many more of such people to come, alumni to come and forth and actually contribute in various different ways, both in terms of scholarship donations, in terms of mentoring, in terms of being a facilitator. Today, our alumni spread all around the world, and it's really an organization of our scholars and alumni, and glad to see many of you are staying connected, and thanks for every one of you who has joined us here as well. We continue to be recognized as one of the best. Sudha mentioned it, that we are the largest scholarship provider in a holistic way in the higher education space, and we'll continue to strive towards that. And next slide, please. And the people who are making it happen are these corporates. Our corporate strength is increasing year on year, and this is a testimony of what we are doing is absolutely right in a holistic way. A great addition this week has been Amazon, and there are many more we are looking at in adding in the future to make it really a robust program. We also have various different foundations who support us, and the strength actually of here as well has been growing year on year. The team which supports, I think most of you have interacted with someone or a lot of them over a period of your journey. This is the team which actually supports you from Mackin. So wishing you all the very best. Enjoy the rest of the program, and we'll connect you in soon. Thank you. Over to you, Pradna.
Yeah, thank you, Ram, and thank you, Sudha. That was a wonderful presentation. Today, not only do we have our stakeholders from across India, but we also have a very special message from FFE's founder, Dr. Prabhu Goyal, who is currently in the US. An IIT Kanpur alumnus and the recipient of the President's Gold Medal for Academic Excellence, Dr. Goyal received a PhD in electrical engineering from Carnegie Mellon University. Dr. Prabhu, along with his wife, Mrs. Poonam Goyal, established the Foundation for Excellence in 1994. Dr. Goyal started his career with management and technical positions at IBM, and over time, he has served on the board of directors of many private and public companies. Let us now listen to Dr. Prabhu Goyal's message.
Hello, everyone. A especially warm welcome to our honored guests, our donors, our mentors, our facilitators. And a warm welcome to our FFE scholars and the FFE India team that has put this event together. I want to start by acknowledging the difficult last 12 months that all of you over there have gone through, the 2 waves of COVID and what it has done to the country and to all of us. In a small way, FFE has tried to help the FFE scholars and their families by raising emergency funds in both the first and the second wave. Though the losses that people have experienced are unimaginable, and I hope that India avoids a third wave and is better prepared going forward. Coming back to the open house, I think I want to bring out the fact that the India team has done the FFE India team has done a remarkable job in putting together training programs, mentoring, skilling, etc., that has made a major difference in the employability of our scholars. In the year 2019 to 2020, over 90% of our scholars found jobs or went on for higher education. I think that's remarkable. Don't you think so? And this year, from 2020 to 2021, the employment rate is significantly better than what one would expect in this time frame. And I think we expect to do as well as the prior year. So thank you to the FFE India team. And I want to use this opportunity to remind the FFE scholars that they must take full advantage of all the programs that have been put together for them. The training, the skilling programs, the mentoring programs, all the training that comes along with it as far as interviewing and various other courses that we offer, entrepreneurship, etc., to be able to maximize what they get out of the organization and employ it in their professional careers. I would also welcome our donors, facilitators, as well as mentors to please join these programs and make these programs even more successful. I think that would be very, very welcome. I want to also point out that the FFE scholars and alumni have done an incredible job in the last 12 months, or the previous 12 months, 1920, in raising funds from their corporates. And it's almost they have doubled the amount of money that they raised in a single year from the year prior. I think that's a fantastic way to give back, and I encourage that, and I applaud the FFE scholars for that. Going forward, I think it's very important for the FFE scholars to stay connected with FFE and to the alumni, to each other, because this is a network of over 10,000 people that has a lot of power in this network. When you work with each other, you can actually be thinking about taking advantage of this network for getting great advice, for finding new jobs, references to job openings that might be out there, references to career counseling, new opportunities that you might be looking for, because this is how the network works. People in the network are very valuable because there's no other way you can get this kind of information and advice. So I would strongly encourage you to stay connected with the alumni network and leverage it and give into it as well. Again, I would like to end by saying I hope you all have a wonderful open house today, and I thank all our guests for being here to make this event successful, and I hope our FFE scholars go back and say it was very worthwhile. Thank you.
That was a wonderful and inspiring message from FFE's founder, Dr. Prabhu Goyal. Participants, a gentle reminder to please post your questions in the Q&A box. We will have a Q&A session at the end of the program. Also, an appeal to scholars and alumni to stay connected with FFE. We have a wide social media presence on Facebook and LinkedIn. So the links are being posted right now in the chat box. Request you to stay connected. We are delighted to have with us our keynote speaker for the evening, Mr. Sarvanan, Vice President and Managing Director, Microsoft Industry Solutions Group. With over 25 years of experience in the IT industry, Sarv has played several leadership roles with some of the world's most respected brands. Sarv spent 12 plus years at Dell EMC, where he led the company's 12,000 people strong Center of Excellence across the Asia Pacific and Japan regions. Prior to his time in Dell EMC, Sarv spent 10 years in Microsoft. During this period, he was the founding general manager, Microsoft IT Engineering Organization, and Microsoft Services Global Delivery in India. Sarv is currently leading the global modern work solutions and telco service line businesses, and also leads Industry Solutions Group's global delivery organization based in India as its managing director. Outside of work, Sarv enjoys golf, coaching, mentoring, and investing in startups. His passion for giving back to the community led him to champion Dell Digital Life Care for India, helping hundreds of millions of Indians and building an organization focused on improving the education for over 10,000 underprivileged children. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Saravanan. Over to you, Sarv.
Thank you so much, Pratna. Hearing the story, it's fascinating how FFE has grown to really impact the lives of positively so many thousands of students in India. And I first was introduced to FFE several years ago. Had the privilege of contributing in a small way, but not as much as I would like. I would have liked. But hearing the story, it's not just giving the money, but also staying connected, helping you with the other skills that are important for you to be successful as you come out of the college, to be gainfully employable, and find your way into the professional world, if you will. I wish growing up I had an organization like FFE supporting me, and I come from a very similar background as you are, and I was lucky enough to have somebody, some good people around me and relatives and friends funding my college, and I got through that, and here where I am, and I wish FFE was there then. And it's really amazing, and also how you connected back with it and contributed the alumni. 12% of the funding coming from you, that's fascinating as well. I think this is an organization that will endure forever with this sort of agenda, with sort of with this kind of connection network that you're establishing. I'm very delighted to see. One more thing that struck me was also the focus on, while it is not as much as it should be, but the focus on the gender, and you're calling for the appropriate help getting people enrolled, female students getting enrolled into it. And that focus is also heartening for me. Thank you so much for FFE and the volunteers and donors for doing such a wonderful job. The topic I thought I should cover with you is really what probably is on your mind as we go through this pandemic in the last 1.5 years. How is the market going to be? As I finish my college, will I find job? We have been since the beginning of the pandemic, we have been hearing disruptive news, industries scaling down, people losing jobs, and where is it headed? I thought I'll share some perspective, that probably be of some good news to you, based on what I observe and see in terms of data, in terms of the trends that we see around the world, doing my job. Let me start with what we have witnessed. What I'm going to say probably may sound something to do with the technology, but bear with me. It has a consequence to all the industries, a consequence on all the industries. What we have seen in the early part of the pandemic is, we've seen 2 years worth of digital transformation in 2 months. I know not all of you are IT students or graduates. Let me parse it for you. Digital transformation really means in business, companies adopting more and more software or technology, if you will, to their business, and become more like, born in the cloud or startup kind of businesses. So that's what digital transformation means. I'm talking about established businesses. And with that, with that kind of trend, that will continue even after pandemic. That will continue, and as a result of that, the role of technology, software, is going to be much deeper in businesses of all kinds, and therefore tech, contribution to GDP will double from the current 5% by 2030 to 10%. It's not. I think the most interesting thing is not the 10%. Contribution of tech to the GDP, but what that 10% means to the 90%, all the industries, all the sectors, what kind of influence it will have on it. I think that's the most important thing here for this audience. So, the kind of change that we have seen, the transformation we've seen, as I said, will continue even after the pandemic. For the first time in the industry, one important factor that we see, the physical dimension of work has become a new factor. So what this means is, does the job need to be in a particular place to get the job done? It's a very important question. No business, only in the tech industry or software, jobs, that question was, there for a long time, and therefore, what you witnessed in India for the past 25 years in the IT industry's growth and its contribution, its influence around the world. I'm talking about beyond that in all industries. If you ask that question and then look at industries like retail, hospitality, leisure, and travel, for example, they all need proximity. I think as we travel, we need services. We expect people to serve us. That's high touch with customers, so there's a proximity there. And similarly, production factories, you need people there. And of course, warehousing kind of operations require proximity too. People have to be there to get the job done. But many other jobs, including the kind of job that I do, and many of you probably in the future will do, need not be. As a result, we see three trends. One is the hybrid and remote work you have been witnessing and seeing will continue. 20 to 25% of workers from bigger economies, I'm talking about the largest, 6-7 economies, could work from home 3 to 5 days in a week, and that is 4 to 5 times the level before the pandemic. So while it has certain implications in those locations, in the cities, high density cities, where the landscape might change, restaurants and retail kind of urban businesses will have will see some impact. But what the most important thing you have to notice is that companies can hire anywhere, not confined to their home location. Now they can, they don't necessarily have to chase talent and bring them to where their office is. Now they can go to wherever the talent is and hire them where they are at. So, if you think about it and then ask the question, so how is the situation, population, workforce availability in some markets? Japan, for example, the average age of Japan is 55%. Where are they going to find, people that can do various jobs across industries? Similarly, the Western Europe and Nordic countries, same story, 52 years, the average age of, they don't have enough people to take care of the elderly. So therefore, businesses are going to look for talent, where they are, and there are only a few places in the world talent is available in abundance, which is really India kind of places. And the second phenomenon is, it's not that the jobs are evaporating. Jobs are moving from, if you had seen job losses in some industry, it's not really net loss. It's loss in one industry and gain in another one. We have seen that since the beginning of the pandemic, the growth in e-commerce and the delivery economy around us, we've seen it, and this is global as well, is 2 to 5 times faster now than the pre-pandemic scene. And that will continue. We are used to it now. So therefore, this forces job shifts from the likes of leisure and travel to distribution centers and the last mile delivery. You saw Zomato going public with IPO and with huge valuation. Swiggy is following that. Delivery, which is again another big success story, which has become profitable since the pandemic, does have IPO plan as well. This is all around the world. This job shift from one industry to another is estimated to be 100 million. And finally, companies are enlisting automation AI to cope up with these kind of disruptions. I'm talking about across industries, not just tech industry. This will accelerate in the years ahead. And as they do that, where will they go for those modern digital skills? And there are not many places. And some of the companies that are opening centers here in their home markets, they don't have enough people with those kind of digital skills and modern digital skills. And that's where they're coming. And that will accelerate as well. If you're in technology, streams, and there's good news there that there'll be more and more such opportunities coming our way. So for the companies, therefore, the question is, how do they reimagine how and where the work is done? And that's the biggest trend we will see, and not necessarily always in the home market. They will, chase talent where they are, and as long as we produce, through FFE, amazing talent, and future is bright. Let me highlight another study by a firm that I came across. And I need to look at all that because of the trade that I am in, the business that I do for my company, which is modern work, to determine how extensively remote work might persist after the pandemic. They analyze its potential in more than 2,000 tasks used in some 8,000 occupations. The pandemic demonstrated that much more work could be done remotely than we thought previously. Sales calls, business sales calls could be done, now with no travel, anywhere, across countries, within countries, limited travel. Business still is continuing. My business, for example, is growing. Our business is growing. Our peer businesses are growing. Tech industry is growing. So companies that are focused on supply chains, their business is growing as well. So how is it growing? Business sales calls are done remotely. Legal arbitration, if you're on trials, if you are pursuing law, and legal arbitration and trials are done remotely now. Doctor visits are done remotely. Even here, in our country, we have through the early phase of the pandemic, even with kind of crappy connectivity, we consult our doctors over phone or video chat or whatever, right? And think about that as a worldwide phenomenon, and think about if doctors can be anywhere. If you are pursuing medicine, why can't radiologists sitting in India servicing patients in the US or elsewhere? So therefore, your clients, your customers, your patients can be anywhere in the world in the future. And that's what is being proven through the pandemic. Classroom learnings, as our education, startups and businesses expand globally, think about the kind of opportunities if you are in that stream, opportunities it can create for us, for you here in India, to find new opportunities. Real estate tours are done remotely. Even forget about all of that. Even expert repairs of world's most sophisticated machinery, made with the help of virtual reality headsets. So therefore, companies can go wherever the technicians are available in abundance. Doesn't matter what kind of machinery, what kind of industry, as long as we produce the right talent and keep them ready for those kind of jobs. So therefore, machinery repairs with virtual reality sets are possible from remote locations, let alone the kind of work that I do or many of us do. But, given all that, with all that, we also find that some work that technically can be done remotely is best done in person. For example, the teaching and what our children have endured in the last 1.5 years, we don't want that happening to them anymore. So therefore, we're limited to where it really makes sense. So a lot more opportunities. and a lot more, I think interesting things, changes, and evolution are waiting to happen. From where I sit, I only see opportunities. And from workforce point of view, the share of low-wage jobs will go down for sure, but that's not what we're talking about here with this audience. And the high-wage jobs in STEM professions, healthcare kind of businesses will expand. And so therefore, there is a lot more to look forward to as you come out of colleges, and opportunities will emerge and wait for you. With that, thank you for having me, Sudha, and FFE team.
Thank you so much, Sarv. This was definitely a very motivating and inspiring message for our scholars. And thank you for your time to be with us this evening. Microsoft has been associated with FFE since 2007. And together with employee contributions, it has supported over 125 scholars till date. So we look forward to strengthening this partnership as well in the coming years. Thank you so much once again. I request participants to please use the Q&A box to post any questions you may have for Mr. Sarv. We will have a Q&A session at the end of the event. FFE has been extremely fortunate to be backed by a team of highly motivated and dedicated facilitators who have been helping FFE through their tireless efforts and voluntary services. Today, we have with us 2 video messages from our facilitators, Mrs. Satya Bhama and Mr. Sangana Basalingappa Hugar from Karnataka. Can we please have their videos?
Namaste. I am Satya Bhama, retired Professor of Physics, National College, Basumudi, Bangalore. I was introduced to this foundation around 20 to 20 years back through Sri Ramakrishna Students' Home, Free Boys Hostel at VV Puram, Bangalore. As I was in education field, Students' Home included me as one of the committee members to select the eligible students for Foundation for Excellence. In my association with FFE, I have come across at least 2,000 students. More than 80% of parents, as I have seen, they are striving very hard to give good education for their children. At this junction, Foundation for Excellence financial help is boosting their morality, strength, willpower to make them brilliant graduates. I feel it is just like grandfather support for grandchildren. Many times we hesitate to help our own people, but here donor do not see the student, student do not see the donor. Foundation for Excellence, it is making a bridge between the donor and student. We facilitator, we are a part of it. Really, I am very proud to be the part of this humble, honest and transparent organization, Foundation for Excellence. And I am very happy to be the facilitator. I wish all the success for the students, appreciate all the efforts and dedication of the parents and generosity of the donors. I hope to see much more progress and outcome through this dedicated organization in the coming years. Thank you.
Hi, Namaskar to Foundation for Excellence team, donors and all facilitators. I am S.B. Hugar, facilitator from Vijaypur district of Karnataka state, working as a government high school teacher. I would like to tell heartily thanks to my friend Sahir Nedugundi, who is a senior software engineer. At present, he is working in UAE, who is introduced me to FFE, and he is a reason to become a part of FFE family. From my area, more than 100 of needy students took scholarship from FFE, and they are studying in prestigious colleges throughout country. I feel an immense pleasure to share my experience about Foundation for Excellence and donors. Respected donors, I haven't seen all of you, but the love you are sharing to my student is like a heavenly presentation from the God. Because without your help or donation, I feel most of the children would have missed their most valuable part of their life, that is education. Because of donors' mercy and Foundation for Excellence effort, most of needy students, today we can witness that most of the students are able to grab their position in all field of education sectors like medical, engineering, law and pharmacy. Most of the zero income parents are struggling hard to give proper education to their children just because of money. But FFE is inspiring all of them to provide basic and good education to their children. Our FFE aim is similar to this slogan, Padega India to Badega India. If the youngsters of all Indians are getting good education, then indirectly it will develop our India. It's only possible because of Foundation for Excellence hard work with donor support. Thanks to FFE team for financial and moral support to our area students. I am very happy to be a part of FFE family, working as a facilitator. Thanking to one and all.
Thank you, Mrs. Satyabhama and Mr. Hugar, for your wonderful messages. We are, in fact, grateful to each one of our facilitators who are the backbone of our organization, and we are glad to have some of them with us here today. Let us now take a look at all our facilitators from Karnataka. Today, we are also recognizing some of our facilitators. I would request you all to please join me in congratulating them and cheering for them by sending messages in the chat box as their names are being called out. I would now request Dr. Sudha to please take over.
Volunteering is, I think, at the very core of being a human. And I think no one has made it through life without someone else's help. I'm sure you all will agree with this quote. Today, on behalf of the board and the entire FFE family, I would like to thank our large group of volunteers, our facilitators, particularly the ones in Karnataka, who have played a very crucial role in the work of the foundation. I would like to say thank you for your dedicated services, for your commitment, and the sincerity and dedication with which you have been working for the foundation, some of you for over 2 decades as volunteers. We are deeply indebted to you. deeply grateful, and we'd like to thank you, each one of you. We have over 69 volunteers in Karnataka, and I'm very glad that we have 21 of them who are our own FFE alumni, a different way of paying forward and giving back to the foundation. Today, we're taking the opportunity to make special mention of a few of our facilitators whose untiring efforts have really made a difference to the foundation. And I'd like to do this through really a small token of our gratitude to you by presenting a certificate of appreciation to a few of our facilitators who are here with us today. And I'd like to call their names: Mr. Pramod Kulkarni, Mr. Sudhindra DS, Shantaram Hegde, Ramesh NR, Anand Betdur, Sunil Janawade, Anand Tite. And we have a few alumni, FFE alumni: Santosh Hagi, Abhishek Jain, Gurunath Swami, and Mr. Varun. Thank you all for your dedicated services, for strengthening our programs, making it robust and watertight. Please know that we will continue to ask for your continued services to the foundation as we grow in the coming years. Thank you again.
Thank you, Sudha. Once again, a big thank you to each one of you for making a difference in the world of our scholars through your selfless service, dedication, and commitment. Today, we also have with us several dignitaries from various colleges. Thank you very much for joining us this evening and being a part of this event. This event will not be complete without recognizing our alumni whose time and support in all forms is deeply valued. We are thankful to all of FFE's alumni who are joining us today. We take this opportunity to celebrate and recognize our alumni champions of 2021 who have committed to support the organization in different ways, be it through individual donations or helping us establish partnerships with other donors, helping us raise funds worldwide, or being our star mentors and facilitators. Please cheer for all our alumni champions who are up on your screen now. Big thank you once again to our alumni champions for your commendable efforts. Moving on, we have wonderful video messages from our alumni, Ms. Gomati Sengodan and Mr. Prashant NN, who also happens to be an FFE facilitator. Let us now listen to what they have to say.
Hi everyone. My name is Gomati Senkodan. I'm basically from Tamil Nadu. Right now I'm working in Bangalore, Samsung Research India as a chief engineer. When FFE asked me to give a video testimony, I was so happy because I have been associated with FFE for more than 14 years. Yes, right. I completed my engineering in 2010. So I got the FFE scholarship for my BE degree. So when I first got the merit seat, I was not so sure that I would be able to complete engineering because my parents were actually working for daily wage that time. So we couldn't afford for my studies. So thankfully my mentor found me and referred me for FFE scholarship and I got it. So it really helped me to concentrate on my studies without any financial stress. So I got good CGPA and I got my job. So when I got my job, I was like so relieved and I was so happy. And from that time onwards, I am making contributions back to FFE because I trust FFE that they find the right people. So right students are benefited. So I just want to tell few things to students that you are in the right place. You have to put your 100% effort and hard work. Definitely you will reach heights and you will achieve your dreams. So FFE will be with you guys. I'm just so happy and thankful for this opportunity, guys. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Prashant. I am from Chikmagalur. I did my schooling in Chikmagalur. I have given entrance exam for engineering in 2010, and it was difficult for me to join the engineering, and I was thinking to pursue BCom or BA because of the financial issues. And one of my mentor introduced me to FFE, and FFE helped financially to complete my engineering for all the 4 years. I graduated from BMS College of Engineering in 2014, and I have joined Microsoft after that. So from last 7 years, I have been part of Microsoft, and I have been working as a alumni donor, and I have been donating through Microsoft Giving Program. So it's a giving program where Microsoft will donate, will match the amount which employees donating to the NGOs. So apart from being a donor, I have also become a mentor as well as a facilitator from last 1 year and contributing to FFA family. One message I have for all the students is there are a lot of skill development activities which FFE is organizing. Please utilize them. It will help them. It will help you to reach to your dream. Also for fellow alumni, so you can contribute in multiple ways to FFE. You can, apart from becoming a donor, you can also be a mentor. Also, you can be a facilitator. Thank you.
Thank you, dear alumni. We truly appreciate the fact that you have stayed connected to FFE. Coming up next, we have engineering scholars Nikhil P, medical scholars Abhishek DS and Sakshi Hegde, and B-Farm scholar Rakshita D sharing their experiences as an FFE scholar. Can we have their videos, please?
Good evening all. I am Nikhil B from Bangalore. Currently I am pursuing my third year computer science engineering from University Visvesvaraya College of Engineering, Bangalore. I have completed my plus 2 from Rashtrotana PU College with an aggregate of 93%. I live with my family. My mother is a homemaker and I have a elder sister. She is a civil engineer. My ambition is to become a professional software developer, and my long-term goal is to become an IAS officer to serve my nation. My seniors advised me to apply for FFE scholarship. Being a single parented, the FFE scholarship made major impact on my financial support. Apart from financial support, they also provide webinars, soft skill programs, placement training, mentorship programs, and make us industry ready. I also participated in many such events like communication program by Enguru, aptitude sessions by Code Mintra, few. I also enrolled for mentorship program this year. I am forever grateful to FFE and my donor SGK for their support. I would like to thank my facilitator Ms. Hema Deshpande ma'am for helping and guiding me all the 4 years. I set apart for FFE and such students in future. I am blessed to be a part of FFE family. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Good evening everyone. I am Abhishek TS, studying 3rd year MBBS in Bangalore Medical College and Research Institute. I am from a small town in Chikmagalur district. We are a family of 4. My parents and my younger sister who has just completed 12th. My father runs a flour mill and my mother is a homemaker. I have completed junior exam in Carnatic music and from past 2 years started writing stories in my college magazine. I aim to be a good physician in the town. When I joined MBBS, my seniors told me about FFE scholarship. There was a fees hike from 6,000 per term to 27,000 per term, and we have to buy the medical equipments. The FFE scholarship has helped me to meet the medical education expenditure and reduce the burden on my family. Along with the financial support, the webinars conducted by the FFE help us to interact with the renowned doctors across India and to learn from their knowledge, experience, and the way of approach towards a patient. I sincerely thank my FFE facilitator, Srimati Anantalakshmi ma'am, and my FFE donor, Shri Girish Rao sir, for their unconditional support. In future, I would like to be in touch with the FFE and support many young students to achieve their dream. Thank you.
Good evening everyone. I am Sakshi Hegde, daughter of Timmanna Hegde, and I hail from Udupi. Currently, I am pursuing first year MBBS course here at Karnataka Institute of Medical Sciences, Hubballi. Mine is a small family of 4 members. My father is a farmer, my mother supports him, and my elder brother is doing his PhD. I qualified NEET 2020 and got admission to one of the prestigious government medical colleges of Karnataka. I completed my 10th with 10 CGPA and 12th with 94%. And I strongly believe that one day I will serve my nation sincerely and help my community to get better health facilities through various government schemes. I came to know about FFE through online, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the immensely supportive FFE family for not only helping us financially, but also making us more competent in this highly evolving medical field through constantly conducted medical webinars. The words from well-known experienced doctors not only inspired us, but gave us much more understanding of the various diseases. I would like to thank my donor, Mrs. Meena Ganesh ma'am, for her kind support and supporting me to pursue my dreams on behalf of me and my family. And also, I would like to thank my facilitator, Mr. Nagaraj Adiga sir, for always guiding me right. And most importantly, I would promise that one day I will return to this family and help my juniors the way you did. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Rakshita Adi. I am studying in the first B Pharm at Srinivas College of Pharmacy, Mangalore, Karnataka. My father is a worker in LPG gas company and my mother is a teacher. I have a younger brother, he is studying in 7th standard. I have scored 94% in board exams and then through CET I joined B Pharm. I am an active Rajapuraskar guider and I participated in many state and national level Scout and Guides Jamborees. I got 3rd prize in national level science model competition. And I also participated in many cultural competitions and I received prizes too. I was introduced to FFE Foundation by one of my friend Tanmay. She is also a FFE scholar. I was worried about my expenses of the college fees, but FFE helped me a lot. By the economical help from the FFE, I could manage my college fees. Not only by the economical assistance, the FFE also educated by us conducting many webinars and sending newsletters. I recently joined to Enguru for Enterprises group, through which I am gaining the knowledge about the English grammar and communication. In this occasion, I would like to thank the FFE group and my donor Chirag Patel sir and Kano Patel sir. I would also like to thank my facilitator Nagaraj Adiga sir. Once again, thank you team FFE.
Thank you, dear scholars. We are very proud of you and we wish you the very best for your future. Participants, a gentle reminder to continue posting your questions in the Q&A box. We also request you to follow FFE on LinkedIn and stay connected with us on FB as well. The links are shared in the chat box right now. It is indeed heartening to see close to 1,000 participants who have joined us today, and this makes us feel both proud and humbled. And with this, we come to the end of today's event, which is also the last open house for this year. On behalf of the board, management, and team at FFE, I would like to thank each one of you for being with us today. This event was made possible only because of your support. Thank you, Mr. Saravanan, for sharing your inspirational message with our scholars. Our sincere thanks to all the representatives from our donor partners, Lam Research India Private Limited, ATOS IT Services Private Limited, Global Logic, SN Foundation, Aptiv Components, Lennox International, Cognizant, Robert Bosch, and O9 Solutions, who are here with us today. Thank you, Mrs. Uma Anand Iyer, Mr. Babu Joseph, Mr. M.R. Subramanian, and Ms. Lata Gopalakrishnan. We truly appreciate the time spent with us this evening. I would also like to thank the dignitaries representing various colleges and feeder partners and FFE's vendor partners, ePowerX, Ethnis, and Focus Academy for your time and support towards FFE. Thank you, Mrs. Satyabhama and Mr. Hogar, FFE alumni Gomati and Prashant, FFE scholars Nikhil, Abhishek, Sakshi, and Rakshita for sending us your wonderful messages. Thank you, respected facilitators, mentors, students, alumni, and guests for your valuable time. We are humbled by your presence. None of this would have been possible without the support of FFE's management. Thank you so much, Sudha and Ram, for your continuous support. And a big thank you to the entire FFE team here who have contributed in one way or the other to make all the open houses this year a grand success. Special mention to Sushma, Jennifer, Sonali, Padmashri, Sharada, Kanta, Triveni, and Anju. Lastly, a big shout out to the core team, Priyanka Ramesh, Shubha Biradar, Taruna Agnani, Tanvi Rawat, and Anup Gore. You have been the pillars of strength right from the start of the season until today. These events really would not have been possible without all of you. And thank you once again.